Trip After Party on the Power Trip Podcast Network.
It's 9:01, and today's the 27th of May, and Corey and what's your name? Marnie. We're just talking about Lance Armstrong, and this is what they were saying about Lance Armstrong.
I caught again maybe 10 or 15 minutes of that new 30 for 30. And I don't remember who the people were, but I think a handful of people that remember Lance, or maybe they covered him or something, basically said he's a master manipulator, that he frames every narrative about him. So they were a little bit reluctant to be a part of a 30 for 30 on Lance because they were worried that he would have so much say in how it's put out that they didn't think they were going to like how he ended up. So what's crazy about it is that then the part that I saw, there was some good and bad of Lance, but most of it, he came off pretty likable, and I think that's what they were nervous about. But I did like that ESPN
But you've only watched
15 minutes of it.
Episode
part of
one. And how many?
I think it's just a two-parter, I think. But I did like how ESPN basically gave those people a chance to say, what you're about to watch is probably bullshit, because Lance is talking, and Lance just says what Lance wants to say. So, but what I didn't know about Lance at all, I didn't know how he started. Do you have any idea how he started into it? Do you know this story, Chris, or not?
I do not at all, no.
He was a absolute phenom triathlete.
Really?
So he said he tried to play team sports like basketball, football, whatever, but he's like, I wasn't athletic, I wasn't good enough. It was super frustrating. So he started swimming and was pretty fast at swimming, but not like Olympics fast, but he was fast. And then he kind of got into triathlons, and at like 15 years old, he was kicking adults' asses, like destroying them. So he got into this giant one in Texas and was the leader after maybe, I think, 2 of the 3 legs, and ended up getting second to an adult. But he was apparently like an instant star in Texas because it was like this, 15-year-old that damn near won this giant deal triathlon in Texas. So even though somebody else won, Lance stole all the headlines, and he was big man on campus at 15 years old. It was Lance Armstrong's the next big thing. He's super cool. He's this, he's that. And they show all these interviews, and he's super cocky and confident even at 15. Like, yeah, I like girls, and I'm basically an asshole, and buckle up. And that's obviously what the rest of his career was.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then he has continued true to form.
Yeah.
But when I've seen that documentary advertised a lot during the Last Dance, and I said to my husband, "Ooh, that looks good," and he was like, "I don't like Lance Armstrong. I have no desire to watch that." And I said, "Well, what if it sort of exposes Lance Armstrong for who he is?" Because the promos kind of, they don't really tell the story. The question comes from off camera, like, after all that you had been through, was it hard to take steroids? And he's like, no. And then that's sort of it. That's the promo. Too. And I'm like, well, so if it's him just talking about spinning the narrative, as you say, I don't know that I'm that interested. Then why would they give him that platform? Right. But if it's sort of, here's the truth, and here's him getting caught in all these lies, would he agree to do that?
I don't know. I wonder where it's going to go, because so far, again, all the stuff
somebody
that
else
I've
watch
seen,
it and tell me.
all the stuff I've seen so far, they're very open about what they took and their knowledge of what they took. That he's not denying. He's like, I always knew what was going in my body. But the other guys on the team basically said it was you're either in or go the fuck home. Like, you're either juicing with us or there's no point in you being on the team. Oh, wow. So they all said, we all did it because we wanted jobs. Sure. Like, we couldn't be the one guy on the team that was clean, so we all had to do it. So I thought that was kind of fascinating.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'll
watch it.
But isn't that the thing still with Lance is like, it's almost like Barry Bonds. It's in a world of juicers, he was still way better than everybody else, right?
Correct, yeah.
Even though Bonds was juicing, so was everybody else.
Like
and Bonds
Sosa
was
McGuire.
still right. And he was still the best of the cheaters.
Yeah.
So you can rip the crap out of Lance and say he would have never done this or never done that, but everybody in the world was doping, and he was still dominating Tour de France's.
What was that bit they did, the Tour de France mockumentary bit? With John Cena and all those people.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it.
It was pretty funny.
It had his moments.
It was Andy Samberg bit. Yeah, it was funny,
I would probably watch the Lance 30 for 30 just to see if Sheryl Crow shows up.
Yeah.
She hasn't yet, but his after he gets the cancer scare, he got married almost immediately, and he just flat out admits, he's like, I loved her, but he's like, I was just like, I have to have a wife and kids. Like, I got to get a family started because I might be dead. So he basically said
three kids.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know if panicked is the word that he used, but he basically said he hit the fast forward button on life because the cancer scared him that much.
Well, yeah, it was testicular cancer. That's a big deal.
That first wife was very pretty too, and she seems super cool. But
she's in it. She's in this.
Yeah, briefly. In like
the other
interviews
one
from
is
when they got married.
isn't there a Donald Sterling? 30
you
for
watched
30
that
or
one. That's the blackballed one you were watching.
Oh, is that one? Yeah.
I didn't know that was out yet.
It's on Quibi. That's why you
Quibi.
didn't know.
sorry.
And there's 7 or 8 minute each episode. I watched, I think, 6 episodes of it, and I didn't know anything about it because I don't know anything about basketball. But it was really interesting because the Clippers have been horrible for so long, obviously, as you guys know. And then suddenly they're good, and this happens. You know, and what was the coach's name?
Doc Rivers.
Yeah, Doc Rivers was like...
Still the coach.
Yeah, okay, there you go. And there's one scene where he's like, I think they were 2 games into the first round of the playoffs, and they'd won game 2 and lost game 1, and then this tape came out, and he saw it, and he's like, I got to go home and coach this team. Like, I care whether or not this team wins or not. It's really
it was so
an
much bigger
interesting
than that.
thing. Yeah.
But and actually, ESPN did a 30 for 30 podcast. It's 5 episodes. I listened to all 5. I listened to a lot of podcasts. I don't know if you heard. I painted my cabinets.
Yeah.
No, I
you
didn't.
mentioned- you
Turned out
mentioned-
great.
Yeah.
Instead of hiring someone, I went through a ton of podcasts, and one thing I did was the ESPN 30 for 30. I kind of picked and choose, but I listened to all 5 episodes. It is phenomenal and fascinating, and this was not an incident that just came out of the blue. This was there for 20 years. This man was an absolute wreck. I don't think people realized quite the level of racism, a blatant racism, but this man was a horrible person. But they go through his life and him owning the team when they were in San Diego, and his wife and the mistress and how that all came out. Oh my gosh, it is you almost think that cannot be real. It's
Right.
incredible.
So The Last Dance was obviously popular enough that they're going to start doing other ones, and that hot rumor that they're going to do a giant Tom Brady documentary as well.
Oh.
He's about 1,000th on my list because
He's not
I have
that
no
interesting.
interest. I have
right,
zero
that's the thing
interest in that.
is we all understand the greatness of Tom Brady, but he's boring as fuck. Like I want Rodman or Ron Artest or Ricky Williams, or I want
Randy
murder,
Moss.
or I mean honestly even Lance cheating. Like
Ray Lewis.
lying, right? No offense to Tom, like it's cute, but if you want to know how Tom does it, just read that TB12 shit, right? He's boring. Like that's why he's great, is because he stays in his lane and just works at his craft. I want a fascinating train wreck, not just a guy that does everything right. That's boring as shit.
Well, he was boring during the golf bit. He's boring during that whole thing. Every highlight, you're like, he's just so.
If his life was Tiger King off the field, but then still did what he did on the field, it's like, let's see what he did. How did he get there? But Tom's life seems super boring in an unbelievable way, but just not worth like a 6-hour documentary.
Well, you probably, whenever you do, if it's the Rodman or whoever it is, meta world peace, you need that person to be all in and to tell you the stories, or people around him to tell the stories. Like, so after The Last Dance, there were several people who called bullshit on Jordan, right? And it didn't. It didn't
There are
end
a lot of people
well.
that still are.
Still are.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas,
So you
obviously not
need
a
to
big
have a
fan of
person
that.
who's willing to take that and now out of the spotlight a little bit. Life has calmed down for a Ron Artest type or whoever. Do they want to stir it all up again?
Maybe.
Yeah. It's a
How
great
much
Is there
would
point.
you
anything on the
That's a
top
great
of your
point.
head that you feel like you would really, really want to know about Tom Brady that you don't already know? Like, to me, the answer is no.
No.
Well, unless there's something that we don't know.
But that's the only part I would care to see, right?
And
the rest of it,
that
how he
won't
won
be in it.
titles, I feel like we just kind of saw
the
that.
most controversial thing is probably that he kissed his son on the lips.
Yeah, and they're not going to do 2 episodes on that.
No, but really,
What if they did?
Yeah.
It would be awkward as shit for 2 hours.
I mean, there's
Slow
like a
motion
Tanya
replay.
Harding.
Are they not going away from
type,
this?
Mike
but-
Tyson, obviously, we mentioned him this morning, but that's a fascinating 30 years of his life.
You've seen the
Going to
Tanya
jail.
Hoarding movie, right, Hockey?
No, yeah, it's really
Excellent movie.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it really
I've never
is.
seen
Oh,
it.
it's a great movie. The woman who plays her mother,
Allison Janney.
Wow, Allison Janney.
Yeah.
She
I've
won the
heard
Oscar
it's-
for that,
I
did
saw
she
her.
not?
She
Yes,
was
I
at a
think you're
Wolves
right.
Lakers game courtside
In LA?
a couple of years ago. Yeah, that was a big sighting for me. I'm a big fan. She's very tall.
ER? No, what show was she?
West Wing.
West Wing.
West
that's right.
Wing,
Yeah, she's great. She's
No,
great
she's
in
not
everything
mom,
she
right?
does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which Hockey loves
What
that
else
show.
wasn't she? What else was she in the last like 5 or 6? Oh, she was in Wasn't she the mom in Juno as well?
Yeah. Yes.
I think she was.
Is she the mom
or
stepmom?
Yeah, Juno's stepmom, I think.
I don't know.
She's just good.
She's really
she's good in everything, yeah.
She good. She good.
So yeah, that movie is good. I actually saw that Tanya Harding movie in Portland, where a lot of this stuff took place. It was an off day for the Wolves back when the NBA played.
Oh yeah.
And I will go to movies on my off days. I really go crazy. But that's something I don't do at home. I don't go to movies a lot because I have a couple of kids and
Right.
I gotta hang out with those.
Financial drains.
Dragging me down.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we brought you up on Tuesday because we basically said that Chris Hockey would be the first pick in the casino draft. If the casinos could have anybody in the Twin Cities back in the door, that Chris is the number one overall pick. But I think I said, you're like a 9th rounder because you love it, but they don't need you yet because you're not a max bet button pusher.
Yeah.
But under Chris's tutelage, he might be able to get you there. So you have a lot of potential.
But it sounds like Chris is taking out more than he's putting in. I'm probably putting in more than I'm taking out. It's just not a huge amount.
Yeah, but see, they want you to. They'd rather have you win big and then keep swinging big.
Keep swinging.
They don't care if you're winning a little bit.
I
they
mean,
want you
I
to swing
might drop
big.
if I lose it all. I'm probably out $300. When that's a lot to me.
Yeah, that's about 3 spins for Chris.
Yeah, I'm usually.
That's 15 seconds.
That could be a half hour for me.
But what is the number that you start getting, like either the sweats or the this sucks?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm there at like $80. I'm
Hey,
like,
are you comfortable telling the story about the time that it's a significant amount of money to almost everybody listening, but that you said that's when you knew you might have a problem is because you didn't feel it and you won a lot of money and you were like, you were kind of bored with it.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the exact dollar figure was anymore, but I do remember that very much. As I realized as I was driving away, I was just
with the
happy.
win or the loss?
The win.
The win.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
I think
That's
I
not
remember
why I
that.
was
You don't
doing
mind
it
just
anymore.
I think I remember how much it was.
How much? I don't mind you
I
saying.
think you said it was like $8,000 and you didn't feel it.
Yeah. I didn't really care. Yeah. Yeah, for me, and we were talking about this off the air, Zach and I we were talking about going down there this week. The number one reason I like to gamble, number one, is just so I'm by myself and there's nobody around and nobody's bugging me. That's the exact opposite of what you'd get if you went down there today. Yeah. I have no interest in that.
No, it's still at 50% capacity, though, so it's not.
Yeah, but still.
Okay, so you want to go at. So let's say you give it a couple of weeks and you go at on a weekday at a really odd
it's the best.
time.
If I leave after this is over and I get there at 11, there's almost nobody there.
Typically.
I stay for a couple hours. It's my ATM. I take my money and I stop by Wells Fargo on the way home, put it in the bank, and then I'm good to go.
But it's not even that, right? It's not even the. I'm not speaking for you, but I'm going to kind of speak for you. It's not even about the number of people at the casino. It's you don't want to go with friends. No. You don't want to be around. It's you are at a place having fun by yourself. Even if there's 15,000 people there, they're not there with you. You're by yourself.
Absolutely. That's
half
number
the
one.
fun.
I do like to. I do, even if I go with my parents or my 2 aunts, we've taken a casino trip. We went to Vegas last year, went to Washington the year before where they live. I don't necessarily like to gamble with, right next to, we're watching, are you judging my bet? I do feel that. Yeah. I don't like someone looking over my shoulder.
No, I don't want them to drain the good luck out of there.
Oh, that's it.
That's part of it, sure.
Every time, anytime we're in Vegas with the show and you see hockey, I literally just kind of I go
and I appreciate it very much.
I leave him alone.
I love you for that.
I know
Thank
how much
you,
he loves it. Yeah,
but all
we've
those
talked
things,
about it.
At the end of the day, all of them are games. So if you're not having fun at the game and you don't feel the rush of the loss or the win, then you are wasting your time, right?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of fun in poker tournaments that I've lost just because it's like a 15-hour grind and the gamemanship of it. I'm engaged the whole time. It's fun. And obviously I want to win the money, but when I go home I'm like, that was a sweet day. That was still badass. And I got to play cards for a day, right? I'm not digging ditches. That was super fun.
Yeah.
If I hated it, and I've had those days too where there's just no
you hate
action.
It and you lose.
Right. I'm bored out of my mind because I'm folding all day because I'm just getting absolute garbage cards. So I'm fold, knock out, you get knocked out of the tournament. You're like, I didn't have fun. I didn't win money. What a waste of a day.
Yeah. Yes.
But when you're having fun, it's the money's kind of secondary. I've had a lot of fun losing. I've had a lot more fun winning, but If you were having zero fun pushing that
Correct.
button and
Absolutely.
losing, then those are the worst.
Yeah. Best thing is when you walk in, you hit something pretty good. And so you're playing on house money immediately.
Yes.
You're walking around, you're wandering around, you're having a good time. The buffet opens, so you got extra cash, you got plenty of time. You roll on in there, you get some food, you come back out, you lose a little bit, and you go home. It's good.
It's the freedom.
Yeah,
That's
man.
great.
I
That's
just
a
love
good
it.
day.
That's a damn
And
good day for me.
What I like about Mystic too, I will go walk over to Caribou, get a Caribou coffee, maybe self-serve a beverage,
Yeah.
maybe swing by the
Right.
bar. Like there are things that I like, and I suppose it's the same with smoking. I'm not a smoker, but there are people who love to smoke while they're gambling, just like I love to have a Caribou coffee and just sip on it.
You know, I wonder, I was thinking about this morning. We were talking about, I wonder if the percentage of old folks is lower at the casino, or if they're still just rolling on
Because
out
of
there.
coronavirus?
Yeah.
The ones that are afraid are definitely staying home.
Yeah.
But my guess is there's still that group that are just like the rest of the public, where they're like, I'm not afraid of this anymore. I'm
Or
going back in.
I'd rather live and live the way I want to live.
Right.
Well, and I'll say this too,
there's
because
that
again, my
mindset.
dad just turned 82. I think there's a part of him that's struggling with that too. That he's like, I can't just stay in my house until the vaccine's out. Because what if it is a year and a half or 2 years from now? He's like,
What have I done
I
with
want
this
to
year?
live, right? And again, my mom just died a month ago, so he's got nothing to do. He doesn't want to just sit by himself for 2 years waiting for this to clean up. So like, he's got to be calculated about it. He's got to be safe and smart about it. But I've even asked him, I'm like, hey, when these because my dad's a poker guy too. When these card rooms open up, what are you going to do? And he's like, I don't know yet. Because he wants to go play, but he's not sure how safe he's going to feel.
Sure. Yeah.
Sitting next to a whole bunch of strangers that might give him a virus that could kill him at 82 years old.
Yep.
But he wants to go. He really does. He just doesn't know what he's going to do when they actually open up.
Yep.
It's a tough spot.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't play cards, or I do a little bit of slots, but I don't know what they're going to do at these sports books once sports come back. I don't know. I mean, the giant social distancing in those sports book, which is probably good because a lot of them could have used a bath anyway. But it'll be interesting how that.
The only
works
difference
out.
is you don't have poker, slots. You have to be there. With a sports book, you can make the bet and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, it's a good point.
No
I
one's
wonder if they'll
required
be
to sit and the energy is going to be. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say I'm not comfortable watching it in front of 500 people. Although a lot of people are going to be.
Oh yeah.
But like for example, I would be way more apt to just place a bet and then go somewhere else instead of sit with a bunch of randoms.
Yeah. Because there's not a lot of exchange of money, chips, like that. Actually, the sports betting is pretty self-contained, like germ-wise.
The actual betting process is
Yeah.
going to be super easy, super clean.
I'm really surprised that the casino industry didn't find a way during this downtime to push through the ability to use a credit card at the machine as opposed to use cash. Because as soon as they do that, it's over, Johnny.
Yeah.
Well, how about even if you're at like a roulette table or whatever, instead of having the pile of chips, because the chips are something that a lot of people are going to
for sure
be touching. So that same thing. It's not as cool though to be able to pick those things up and hear the clink and the.
It's not only that though. Again, and this is stating the obvious, but that's one of the oldest tricks in the book, right? Is the casinos know you don't think that's real money as much than actual. $100 chip doesn't feel like $100 bill.
Which is my point with the credit card.
Right.
But if it's just your credit card, there's not a $100 bill.
No, and that's
You're right. So you walk up to a slot machine and you put your credit card in like you're at the grocery store.
Feels different.
Ugh.
Yep.
Yeah. I would almost bet you at some point pretty soon that they have a thing where you walk into the casino and you go to a booth and you say, here's $500, put it on, and they give you like a card, a temporary card.
Like if your player's card has credits on it.
So you load that.
I don't know where cryptocurrency is going in the next handful of years, but with like stuff like Apple Pay, I wouldn't doubt that, again, you literally just swipe your phone past a slot machine and your like account is logged in.
Yeah.
And you just start hitting
Good
buttons.
point.
The only thing they'd be missing is the $6 transaction fee at the ATM that casinos charge.
Or in Vegas, like $12. God dang it. Freaking Aria.
Oh,
man,
12?
I mean, it's something like $9.
Yeah,
I'm like, $9 to get my own money? Are you kidding me?
I don't know this, but other people that I know have told me that it's $40 at some strip clubs. $40
to get money out?
To get money out, yeah. $40.
How bad do you want that dance?
How horny are you?
All right, Sauce and I got to go play this stupid game on PA show, so you three can talk amongst yourselves.
Cool. We only got 15 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good luck in your game.
Have fun with the game.
Thanks.
I'll see you in about 10.
Yeah. That sounds
Do you know
great.
what we're doing?
I really don't. We're doing some kind of singing thing for AJ. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't have
His
to be a part of
birthday?
it, right? Good.
No.
I'm going home.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Great.
Marnie,
Marnie, you're the best.
You're a
We love
national
you.
treasure.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Yeah, I will. Bye.
We may have talked about this before. Do you get a feeling when to walk away from a machine? I
Yeah.
don't know when they're cold, because when they go cold, I think I'm due
For sure.
any minute, and that gets me.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't mean you have a problem. I mean you can't do that.
Yes, but how do you know? What do you use?
No,
What's
I
your
have
feeler?
a certain. It depends on the machine you're playing and what the bet is you're playing. Like you can't give a machine too many max bets before it gives you a little back. That's just a recipe for disaster.
Okay, like 4 or 5. You get 4 or 5 spins with nothing in return. And you're like, psh, I'm
Yeah,
out.
and again, it depends on how much. But let's say I'm on a max bet machine and it's a dollar machine, and the max bet is $10. Oh God! Right?
Yep, okay.
Which is not a very high max bet for a dollar machine, to be honest
Okay.
with you. But if I'm on that machine, I won't go more than $100 before I walk out of there.
And with some minimal, like a couple dollars here and there from
It's got to
the
give you
machine
something
company.
back.
Okay.
It's got to give you something back.
So you're about a 10 spin.
Yep.
Moving on.
Let's say I play a penny machine and it's a $5 max bet. That's usually a really good. Those are popular machines. $5 max
Yes,
bet on a penny
and this
machine.
is my era. This
Right.
is me, penny machine.
And you can absolutely win good money on those machines. If I haven't gotten a free spin by the time I'm at $35, $40, I'm out of there.
Starting with 100?
Yeah, starting at 100.
Okay.
Yeah, because the free spins is where you win the money.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got to keep giving you a little every now and again. But see, again, my whole method that they make fun of me for, but it's true, is I don't walk around literally really feeling it. I play mostly just the machines where they're progressives, okay? And you have the small progressive, the medium progressive, and the large
Yes,
progressive.
yeah.
And you look at the small
Mini,
progressive.
maxi,
absolutely.
super, whatever they call it.
And you look at the mini progressive,
Yeah.
and I kind of know which machines.
$38.
Well, let's say but okay, that's the mini. I'm talking about like the the mini
$600.
progressive. Yeah, is like 600, and then the next is like 1,500. Then the one up at that is like 10 grand.
Yes.
Okay, if the one at the mini is like sitting at $800, and it normally averages about 500, you know that machine's gonna hit pretty soon on the mini.
How do you know that? You do, just from experience, you know that this machine
Absolutely.
usually is at 500 and now it's at 800.
100%.
It's due.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
And if
okay.
it gets near 1,000, don't leave that machine till it hits.
Okay.
Seriously, don't leave that machine until it hits.
Yeah, see, I don't pay attention to that, so I
have
wouldn't,
to.
I
That's-
wouldn't know
that's
what
how
the
you do
number
it.
typically is.
And if you see people especially in the high roller room kind of wandering around and you're on a machine, they're waiting on you to leave that machine because they know you've been feeding it. It's the same thing even for the medium max. But I don't play for the major jackpot unless I've hit a couple of smaller jackpots.
You're playing for the next
I'm
level
playing
down.
for the smaller ones
Yeah.
to just build up. There's a lot of times.
Get you some house money to go
Well, for sure. And a lot of times you'll see me at the casino, and I'll have in my wallet 2 or 3 tabs, white pay tabs. They're like $600 or $700 in my wallet. I won't touch those. I only spend the money I came there with.
Okay. And
If
then
I-
you cash.
Right. And if I run out of that money, then I might cash one of those 2, or I might leave knowing that I came with $500 to spend, but I got $1,200 in my pocket. I'm
Yes.
good to go.
Yeah.
I'll go
so
home.
you
It's
still
just
might
not
go
hit me
through
today.
your own money.
Right.
Okay.
But if I got a couple of those tabs in my pocket and I hit another one of those tabs, I'll go to the high roller room and just take a chance on some giant machine with a giant payout. When I hit that $53,000 one, that's exactly what I did.
Really?
I hit I forget what it was. I hit like a $4,000 one in the high roller room, and I walked over to this machine where the maximum bet was $100.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the max bet was $100 on this machine, right?
Yep.
And I put in one of my white tabs, which I think I had $600 on, which meant I put a $100
6
bill
spins.
in, and yeah, on the second spin I hit free games.
Oh.
On which I thought, holy shit, I just
Can't
hit free
pay.
spins on a
$100
$100 max
spin.
bet, right? What could possibly happen? I was thinking $10,000, right? The second spin of the free spins, I hit $53,000.
Oh my God. How did you react?
I literally couldn't believe it. The lady who, the drink lady at, in the high roller room walked over. She goes, "Congratulations!" And I said, "Thanks." And she goes, "Holy crap! I thought it said $5,300. That's $53,000." I'm like, "I know." So they came over, and they have to come over, take the machine
Sure.
apart. I don't know if
Yeah.
I told you this story or not. So it was an older machine.
They take it apart?
They literally take it apart and plug it into a computer to make sure that it didn't malfunction.
Okay.
If it malfunctions, they don't have to pay you.
Oh, shit.
And but again, they're really great about it. And the high roller room guy, manager, came over to me, and he was like, "I'm sure this was great. This is an older machine, takes us a little longer. Here's a free buffet. If you don't mind, go hang out. You can hang out here if you'd like. That's fine. But if you want to go eat, go ahead. I'll come get you when we do this." I was like,
"You're like, I got $53,000 hanging in the balance."
But you know what's so weird though? But I was also thinking to myself, if I go back in there and they tell me this malfunctioned, this is the greatest radio story in the history of radio, right?
Yeah.
If I come in the next day and I have proof that I won $53,000, but it was a malfunction, that's a great story. It's better that I won $53,000 and they let me take it home. But I mean, I'll never forget. He came in. I was sitting there. I had my plate in front of me and I was eating. And he came in and he sat down. And he goes, "Congratulations! Just whenever you're ready, come on over straight to the desk and we'll write you your check and we're ready to go."
Had you texted your wife yet?
I hadn't told anybody yet.
Because you're just sitting on it.
I didn't want to tell anybody until I knew.
I have goosebumps listening to this story.
It was legitimately unbelievable. And again, it wasn't one of those new machines where I talked about the progressives. It was an old. If we went to Mystic Lake today, I could show you which machine.
It's the kind that spins and it clicks when it hits their
absolutely
spot.
Right.
Click,
which
click,
is what
click.
really freaked me out. Was I was like, this is a really old machine. It legitimately could have malfunctioned. I mean, this machine looked like it was from the 70s.
Oh, wow.
But damn it, man, I still can't believe it. And I've done weird things like that, Marnie. You can't believe it. And again, I know it's completely 100% luck, and I know also the percentages for me are bigger because I play so. I hit the max bet, and I'm spending so much money to win money, you know. But when we were on our way to Kansas City with Jefferson Lions, I was wandering around that casino. What is that casino? Diamond Joe's. Is that right, Zach?
Oh, yeah, in
Diamond Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm wandering around the casino, and to be honest with you, in the high roller room, there were a bunch of people talking to me, and that again, I was like, cool. You guys are great, and I don't mean to be rude. I'll spend the rest of the bus trip talking to you, but this, you know. So I wandered off, and I just went over to a corner of the casino where there were nickel machines.
Mm-hmm.
I sat down at this nickel machine. I think it was a Smokey and the Bandit nickel machine, which I'd never seen before. And I hit $4,700 on a nickel machine.
What was the max bet?
$12.
Wow.
Yeah, on a nickel machine. I don't know. I'm just really lucky. I really am. But it's fun. And I don't win every time, but almost every time I do.
That's crazy.
It's super fun, man.
Well, I gotta maybe change my strategy because I love the penny slots, but I do play about $1 a spin.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was a nickel slot, that's fine. I'm about $1 a spin.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
But there's something that must not be the magic combination because
well, technically
I'm on a downturn.
Technically, on a progressive machine, you don't have to play the max bet to win the major jackpot.
Some of them you do. It says max bet only.
But most of them you don't. Most of them you should.
I guess I get this like feeling in my stomach when I'm down,
understand.
like
I
even
really
$80 or something.
And that's a good thing. I mean, I've been really honest with people. I had a night. It's been a lot of years ago now, probably 7-8 years ago now, where I got in the spin and I realized, okay, this is becoming a problem for me. So I stopped. I had to stop cold turkey. Mm-hmm. And I didn't go back for a couple of weeks. And when I went back, I came up with this plan. Here's how much I'm going to allow myself to spend. Okay. And I'm never going to go past that. Okay. And since that moment, I've never gone past it. I never have.
That's awesome.
And if I ever get to the point where that happens to me again, where I can't stop myself, then I will quit again. And if I have an issue and I can't get myself to quit, then I'll find help because I know it's an addiction.
Yeah,
I know how.
But your
quickly that can turn.
recognizing of that is
that's
big.
I'm really worried about that. To be honest with you, I'll keep an eye on myself because there are addiction things in my family, and I think it doesn't just have to be alcohol or drugs. It can be anything.
Oh no, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I keep an eye on that.
But even just talking about it makes me want to go, and it's not the gambling. Like, oh, I miss gambling. It's the sound. It's the lights. It's my coffee. It's having my mom or my aunts.
Yeah. It's the experience of it. It's the fun of it.
It's
I know.
all of the encompassing things that for me and for us it's Mystic because it's
so close.
So close, and it's Yeah, like my parents live in Fargo. Whenever they come visit us, I would say 90% of the time they're here.
Yeah.
We go to Mystic at least once. Or
Right.
I get the free hotel offers because I have the Mystic card or whatever, and they'll just use it as an excuse. Oh, you got a free hotel? We should come for a visit. We'll
sure.
stay with you for like 4 days, but one of them we'll spend at the casino.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's the best.
It's the best.
Yeah, I think if they were all equidistant, I think my favorite is probably Grand Casino Hinckley. I like that casino more. The layout's really good. There's more space in there. It's not quite as smoky. But I love them all. I do. I love all the casinos. I like what Treasure Island's done with their high roller room. That's really, really nice now. I even like the Little Six Casino.
I don't venture out enough to. I've been to Hinckley one time, and it was before I was married. I've been married for 13 years. I saw Sarah Evans in concert.
No kidding.
At Grand Casino Hinckley. That's the one and only time I've ever been there. So I had a great experience. I haven't been there in 15 years.
You ever play dollar machines?
Do I ever play dollar machines? Yeah, all the time.
Fucking love them.
I love them.
I don't like. I throw 40 in, and I know it's like a quick win or lose.
Yeah.
But God, when I win,
you win.
Do you max bet?
Yeah.
Because you on a dollar machine, your
my
max bet
favorite
could
machine
be
is the green machine.
$10-20.
The green machine's fun. The green machine's weird though because you have to be tolerant with the green machine because you could sit at the green machine, put $100 in, and get a 5, and then get a 20, and then get a 5, and then 100, and then a 5.
Are there dollar bills on the screen?
Yeah, for
okay,
sure.
I've seen that.
But I've seen people hit on there's a dollar machine in the high roller room at Mystic of that machine you're talking about, and the max bet's only $5, and I saw a guy hit $3,000 on that machine.
Beautiful.
And the max bet's only $5. Yeah.
My favorite are when you get free games, but let's say it's a coin, but you could get 3 coins on the first reel, you can get 3 coins on the second reel. And then they just start to pile up. You maybe get 3, 3, 1, 1, 3.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you got like 48 free spins.
The best.
Oh,
yeah.
Let me just sit back
It's
for
the
a
best.
minute.
But you know what? I've also had that happen before where you get like 53 spins and you win like $20.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is the worst day of my life. If I get 50 spins, I should be winning mega cash.
I need to
right
speak
here.
to a manager.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Now.
Something's wrong. I love it, man. That's fun. I would go down there today, but I know it's just too packed. I would be uncomfortable the whole time.
Once they open up the other ones, I would
Yeah,
imagine
for sure.
they'll-
Yeah. I would.
Well, are the others on June 1st?
I don't think they've announced dates
It's
for any
all-
of
It was
them
in
yet.
the Strip had an article about casinos opening yesterday, and I think I was just reading the Mystic parts, but I feel
okay.
like the others were right on the heels.
Yeah.
By the way, when I was in Florida earlier this year, I went on it's called a Victory Casino cruise.
Huh.
So cruise boat, they out in
they go out to international waters.
yeah,
and
Cape Canaveral.
Oh, okay.
So they're opening tomorrow,
Are they
and
really?
I could not ever see myself going on a casino cruise.
Not right now, man.
Oh my
no
God!
way.
Because you're at those
Just
quarters.
cruise, yeah.
It's not a big
tight.
boat. It's pretty.
Did anybody win anything on that?
I did.
okay?
I did well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was mostly playing like craps and all that, so
Sure.
that was fun. But the machines, my grandparents go on there a few times a year, and they do all right. So, but
You know what I've found is that in my travels with the Vikings, if you go to a city and you go to a casino and there's not another casino around it anywhere, you won't win shit. But if you go to a casino like in Kansas City where there's
several to choose from.
Several.
Detroit.
Detroit's exactly the same. Yeah, there's within a city block, I think there's 3 casinos in Detroit. You do really
Those
well
are
in
better,
those cities.
really?
They're looser, absolutely. But like New Orleans, that one that's right downtown,
Harris.
you don't have to win because there's nowhere else for you to go. So they're not.
That must be why I lost.
Oh, it's terrible. I told you, but the last time I went there, it's the worst time I've ever had at any casino ever. Was on that Vikings trip for the playoff game last year.
But if the machines are too tight, then you'll never get a repeat customer. But then again, maybe you don't need to because New Orleans is full of tourists who are just coming in once every 5-10 years.
That's exactly
that's
right.
a great tip.
It's the truth. Yeah,
That's a great tip.
Yeah, man,
So-
I didn't see anybody winning either. It was a Saturday night and nobody's winning. That's trouble.
That's
Yeah.
We, you and I have talked before about like how do slot machines work in terms of like when they're tighter, when they're looser. When this Ladybug machine first came out, it was so hot, and then it's just ice cold. There is something to it. Is it the manufacturer? Is it the casino? I don't know. So then when you have something like this, like casinos have been closed for 2 months, where are the machines right now? Are they super tight because they haven't had
Right.
People coming through there, or are they loose because they're like, we got to get these people winning and coming back? What do you think?
I
What's
would
the
like
mindset?
to know. I really would like to know the answer to that, for obvious reasons, but also because you're right. I'm very curious about that. Like, there's no doubt if there's a new machine or a bank of new machines, you're going to win on that machine.
Yes, it's a
Absolutely.
winner. But you might check that thing in 6 months, dead.
And it's deader
Ice
than it.
cold.
It's hot for 2 months, and then it's so dead you don't ever want to go near it again.
But you have this feeling and this memory of, I had this great day on this. Or
You're
this
so right. My
that
God, yes.
happens.
Yes.
So who controls that?
I
Is
wish
there
I knew.
a person? Is it the casino? Is it the manufacturer of that machine?
Right.
How do they work?
I have no idea. I wish I knew. And I know people who probably know. I bet they're not allowed to tell me.
Yeah.
You know? There's something going on. It's fun. It's fun. I can't wait till they're all open. I think as soon as Grand Casino opens, I'll probably go down there. Up there. Over there. Up. There.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that place a lot. I don't know. Speaking of gamblers, AJ just
and the
walked
Mystic
in.
traffic will go back to a normal speed once this novelty of we're back open dies down a little bit.
That place is busy anyway all the time. I can't imagine what it's like down there right now. Hey, did your husband say, are they checking everybody's temperature as they walk in?
No.
They.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He was he didn't say, but
I think they are.
Yeah, he had to wear a mask
Yeah.
going through there, even just to go downstairs to eat at the employee lunch. But the emails that I get have the checklist of everything they're doing. Yeah, and there was a temperature scan.
Yeah, you got a temperature scan. Yeah, right. So
no self-serve beverage at the time. Currently,
right. You let me know if you go down there. Tell me how it goes.
I'll let you know.
I'll do
I'll
the
tell you
same
what,
for
it's
you.
going to go well. I already have the feeling.
I can feel it too.
Mommy's coming back, baby!
Yeah! Hi-ya! Have a good day, everybody. Be careful and be nice to each other, please.